Action. Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Just Random Rugby, where I must say, it's been a pretty good weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for Boks supporters, we had a good time. I'm not even gonna lie. We still haven't stopped partying. So
I mean, if the Boks are mid, man, I mean, I think we are pretty good for mid team. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, no, if we're mid, then damn, the whole world is trash.
Yeah, we know who we're talking to. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else. But so obviously the main game we're gonna talk about this episode is the Springboks versus All Blacks. But just give me a quick overview of the rest of the games this weekend. What did you think of the weekend overall?
The whole world needs to be scared for the islands. The islanders are gonna come for us. Like Samoa, Fiji. I don't think Tonga played.
I don't think Tonga played.
Yeah, but Samoa, Fiji, they really put their hands up. Fiji were first wing against England at Twickenham. Samoa freaking did amazing until the last 60. So, yeah, it's crazy. But
Look, man, I don't know.
It's starting to fear, right?
I think England are dangerously close to becoming like a tier 2 nation. If we're completely honest, I looked at their wins, right? In the last like year and a half or something, they only won against Wales, which
and Italy.
yeah.
They did get wins against Italy as well. So
that's not really anything to write home about. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm worried for England. To be honest, look, it's not even like at that point anymore. It's like, oh, it's so funny, England. No, it's like it's getting sad. Like it's actually getting sad. I don't know what Borthwick is doing. I mean, he's trying to play this basic, grinded out sort of game plan, but the players he has at his disposal are old. A lot of them are past their prime. They're slow. I mean, I don't know why you pick Max Malins and Johnny May against Fiji. Why?
I mean, it did show. It did show. They did get cooked a little bit. Like a little bit, not even a little bit. Or maybe being a bit.
I mean,
light
Johnny.
on them
I
a
mean,
bit.
I think you told me the guy who bumped Johnny May. I mean, it looked like boys against men against the Fijians. They couldn't match up. And I told you before the game, they're gonna break them physically, the Fijians, because England just they don't have the physicality in their players, and it showed because they really suffered against Fiji. And going into the World Cup, I mean, especially like England and Australia,
Australia looked a bit better for me. They also played. They didn't play perfect, but I mean, when you think about how Australia played like for the last year, they weren't good necessarily.
Actually,
they really did. They did try to do stuff against the French, and it nearly worked. I mean, there was a time when I think it was 16-5, where it still looked like Australia were.
Yeah, they
this.
could do something. I mean, but also the French didn't look at their best. If we're going to
but I don't think they tried everything.
Okay, yeah, it's like it's like the Ireland England game where
Yeah.
they could have been in third gear the whole game and they still won them by like 30 points. Damien Penaud, that try, that was a great try, must say.
Did he just score the one from the cross kick, or was there another one?
I think he scored 2.
Okay,
I'm not too sure. But
I remember the cross kick one, but I can't remember now the other one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but great game by him. I mean, French, look, I think that heading into the World Cup, especially because Ireland nearly lost to Samoa, which that game was actually really good as a neutral, if you were watching that game. Man, and they had no excuse. It wasn't like a B team excuse or anything like that. They played basically a first choice team, and they almost lost to Samoa. If Samoa didn't choke that last line out, I think they would have won. To be honest, if they mauled that line out over.
The last two, I mean, they did. Supawanga kicked the ball directly out, and then afterwards they got another penalty. So
They had this
I
little
think
like
they had
huddle.
I think they had a little bit of stress on them, and but the forwards were fired up. They were ready for it, and then Supuanga kicks it out directly out in the back, and then it's just like, oh well, let's do it again. And then they get another penalty, and they actually get a 5 meter line. And it's weird because you look at the replay, and the Samoan guy, the lock, I think the reserve lock, he fumbled the ball, but it almost looked like James Ryan got him on the hand because
Yeah,
at
it
first
was
it
a bit
looked like
sus.
yeah, at first it looked like James Ryan actually like got hold of the ball, but after you could see he only got a hold of the Samoan's like right hand. So it
It
was
was a bit sus. I think they were pretty lucky, to be honest. I think Ireland didn't perform that well. I think they were really lucky to get away with that win. Because that would have been imagine the scenes.
it would have been scary.
Then the box would have been especially mid, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, just saying. But I think the two favorites for me going into this World Cup, the Springboks and France. I think Ireland just showed us again why we can't trust them to get past the quarters because they almost choked Samoa. And then obviously, like New Zealand, look, man, it's still New Zealand. I'm never going to write them off. It's the All Blacks. We know what they can do. But still, we beat them by the highest margin they've ever been beaten by.
Yeah.
And you did talk about this to me before we started filming, where they did use another kicking tactic. To be fair to them, they did. But I don't think you can use that as an excuse necessarily because they were just so terrible. They were punished on their discipline, which let's just say this: that maul, they always get away with that maul, and they didn't get away with that maul this time. They were punished 4 times in the game for early engage in the maul, and I mean, it just looked kind of silly. It was like a middle school rugby where you just do the same mistake over and over again. It was just terrible to look at.
Yeah, it was really a shame for New Zealand, to be fair, that they did finally get caught. I mean, the Crusaders, the assistant coach was the Crusaders forward coach.
Yeah.
And in 7 years of playing or coaching the Crusaders, they conceded 1 maul try in 7 years. And so you got to know it does work because, I mean, you can't just get away with something for 7 years straight. So their timing was just bad. They just really
Yeah, I
didn't
think
have.
they really they obviously got it wrong. And for me, what was so funny is Sam Kane complaining to the ref the entire time, and then he got sent off. Which
Yeah,
that
was.
I kind of chuckled a bit at that. I think that
Yeah.
was pretty funny. And let's talk about this the big topic first before we move on to the player ratings. Scotty B. Look, you told me beforehand that you saw an angle where like he tried to clean Malherbe, and then but man, if Peter Steph du Toit got 4 weeks for that clean last year on Dante, it is only fair that you have to give Scott Brad 4 weeks and he got nothing.
Yeah, it's the thing. The thing is, like, it does feel to me like it's still reckless, but the thing that does change it up a bit for me, that makes it unlucky and not just reckless, is he did like wrap Malherbe when he cleaned him. So he did make good lower contact on Malherbe, and Marx was just there. So it's like you need to also think about that as well, because Marx was laying down and Barrett probably saw him, but he thought, okay, I need to get Malherbe out of the way now. So he went in for the clean on Malherbe, and then last moment Marx lifts up his head. So it's unfortunate. Do I think it's reckless? Yes, but it is unfortunate. So
For me, still, I mean, if it's still reckless to me because of the guys, he was on the ground, he was laying on his stomach.
yeah, but listen to what I told you now. Like, he was down there and he made the contact on, and he wanted to make contact with Malherbe, and then just last moment Marx. If Marx just laid down and he was still laying down, then he wouldn't have hit him. But last moment he did lift up his head, and that's when he hit him.
Well, if that's the case, then I think he still should have gotten banned.
Yeah.
It should have been a ban because let's say Dwayne did that 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I'm telling you now, he would have got banned.
Peter Steph du Toit does it, and he's the foulest player ever.
Yeah, such a dirty player.
Yeah, such a dirty player. Yeah, like Peter Steph du Toit. We're talking about Peter Steph du Toit. Like what the media wrapped him around and being like such a dirty player. The man freaking cries. He cried his eyes out when he accidentally made a high hit. After I can't remember on who was it.
Dante.
No. In the game, he made a high hit in the All Black.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
on.
I can't remember now. But he was dipping in the tackle low.
Both of them dipped.
Yeah, both of them dipped.
And only his arm.
Yeah. So it was head contact, was a yellow, but you can see man's just crying and
I mean, he looks like he's crying when he's playing normally, and, and when
he
came
has to
on.
get rid of that excess water somehow because the man does not sweat.
And also Rassi coming on the sidelines telling him, "Don't worry, Peter, it's not a red card." You can see how happy he was. He was just so relieved because he wanted to cry, man. I think he was really worried about that, which I was too, to be fair. But I think that's fine. I think that's a yellow. They both dipped. It was only his arm. It wasn't shoulder to head. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, definitely. And then another thing to talk about in the game was how poorly the All Blacks kicked. Like when Mwanga missed that penalty, like in the first 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember because I watched the Afrikaans commentary at first, and then I watched the replay of the game, like the rerun. And that one guy from New Zealand, I can't remember his name.
That's scrum off. That's scrum off.
No. He was commentating.
Yeah.
With
I
think Justin Marshall.
Yeah, Justin Marshall. He was a scrum off for New Zealand. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I don't know. But he was talking. He's like the All Blacks are not that good, but at least this is an easy 3 points. And then he clicked.
The commentator's curse is real.
He
Never
even
say
said,
that.
He even said afterwards, I just commentators cursed him, which that's unfortunate. But I mean, if that was Marnie Libok, we wouldn't hear the end of it. I'm just saying.
No, we wouldn't.
I'm just saying.
No, but you would also be the first one to shit on him then. So
yeah, but I'm still. He doesn't. I don't think Richie Mo'unga got enough shit for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't miss that penalty in front. That's like a shocking. Like
for Mwanga, that was just
for his standards.
That was bad.
That's unacceptable, man. But I think we're gonna move on now to the player ratings, and then we'll touch on things that happened in the game. I think as we go.
We're also gonna give the reserves player ratings, but we don't have a lot of space, and we're not gonna cramp it in because we do not write that neatly. So just we're gonna probably edit here
keep
somewhere.
It in mind.
Just be like edit somewhere over here. And then be like, okay, shops, we're gonna add a number or something in the middle over my face. I don't care.
But the entire bench was good.
Yeah, I mean, the entire bench was insane. Reinach really freaking impressed me on the wing. Like we all know Reinach is fast. But he really, I mean, sure, he didn't really have to defend that much anyway. So you can't really give him any high score. But I mean, man's really tried. So
and that tackle as well. I mean, if that was 2 meters... Like
back then, maybe even a meter back.
It would have been great, man. Yo, that was that gas on him. Yeah, I mean, he came from the side as well, which he didn't even have like a straight run. He came from that was just
that Garden of Eden genetics coming in hand there.
So first player, Steven Kitshoff. What do you think of Mr. Kitsy's performance? I think it's a solid 8 out of 10 performance.
I don't want to do this, man, because everyone that I don't give an 8, I'm gonna be like, why am I not giving this man an 8? Or anything lower than an 8 now? Because I just think everyone just played perfectly, to be fair. Just for that last try that they gave away, that Moody slipped the tackle. Really awful attempt on a tackle there, but it was a bit whack. And
to be fair to that 9, he did really well there. He dipped low.
Yeah, and then Moody just went over him.
Under him, and then... The thing is, though, Willemse and Libok, that...
Yeah, Willemse's miss is still like a one-on-one. I understand that, but Libok's miss on him was also like worry.
That was terrible, man.
That was worry. But I think he expected Willemse to make the tackle. And, Yeah, and then Willemse didn't, and then Libbok was already standing still, so it was a bit
But
unfortunate
it
for
should have
Libbok.
been. It shouldn't have been a try. But
Yeah, it shouldn't have been, but we defended terribly there, so unfortunately. But if it was Willie that missed that tackle, we wouldn't have heard the end of it.
yeah,
But,
just saying
but
again.
Yeah.
Just saying. But I think it's off. I mean, he conceded one scrum penalty, which I don't even think was a scrum
And
penalty.
now thinking back again against the scrums,
We destroyed them.
Yeah, I mean, it was also Jordy Barrett also scrummed like for 40 minutes of the game. But
That's not an excuse.
But
there's no
but
excuses.
I mean, at flank you're only like putting in one of your shoulders weights, so it's you need that extra weight in there. But he it just didn't seem like he helped at all.
I mean, we destroyed their players entirely. Taro Lomax. I mean,
Yeah, that was
his knees,
unfortunate.
that was
That was really unfortunate.
But
though.
I mean, when Ethan de Groot came off the field, he was done.
Yeah, he was
I mean,
battered.
his eye was closed, like he
Yeah,
was
I wish I could see
bleeding.
the hits that happened over there, because I mean you had to get a hit on the eye somewhere. So maybe we did something. I don't know. Who knows?
But I mean,
Not
we
even he does.
absolutely destroyed them physically. Like
Yeah,
I
so-
think they were just done afterwards. They couldn't anymore.
Yeah, I think Kitshoff and Malherbe, I mean, just for the scrum penalties alone, you need to give them both 8. So I think I'm going to give them both 8.
Yeah, okay,
somewhere now.
give them both 8s. I think because that scrum penalty Kitshoff conceded wasn't even as like
And there was also a pre-engage or not a pre-engage, but where we scrummed a bit earlier. But I think it wasn't I think they just couldn't take the hit.
after
Yeah.
they were so destroyed. I just think they couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah,
to
like
be
they
honest.
gave. Who was the ref again? I can't remember. It's
know,
an English guy. Oh, I can't remember what.
Matthew Carley.
Carly, yeah. But I think, yeah, he just gave the one thing was now that.
Yeah, it was
So,
that one scrum penalty.
Yeah,
which,
it just felt to me like
and,
they
and it
didn't take
wasn't
the
even
hits.
him. It was the assistant referee which gave the call, which I didn't think. I mean, you could even see Kitshoff was like, "Man, what's that for?"
Yeah.
But I mean, both. I mean,
Yeah, I think they both had 8s. I think all the freaking props, even the replacements, they all got 8s.
Oxy impressed me again.
Ox is insane. Ox is
He's
as
so
strong
good,
as an
man.
ox.
Sorry
like-
for the noise, guys.
Yeah,
That's eesh.
Yeah, one of my
Okay.
neighbors are smashing something. I don't know. But yeah.
So moving on then to Marks, 9 out of 10.
Maybe
9
even,
out of 10.
maybe even I'll give him a 9.5 because of the record-breaking try that he scored.
Yeah, let's be
How
nice.
many tries is it's
17. 17
Yeah,
test tries.
17. Yeah, 17. Yeah, that's crazy though.
I mean, man, he's
but
cooking.
it is. I think most of them are maul tries. So, unfortunately, but
I mean, most of Skalkberger's tries were also maul tries. So,
yeah,
I mean,
back then the fetcher had the ball at the back. So
you have to give it to him, man. Marks, what a performance. The best hooker in the world. Debatable, but
debatable. Yeah.
I think he had such a good performance, man. Like that was, I think that's the reason we should start Marks. If I'm honest, man.
Bongi also had an insane
Yeah,
game.
okay.
though.
Look, Bongi also was good when he came on, but I just think Marks, it's just another level at
Yeah.
this point. I mean, back in 2019, 2021, you could argue for the
Yeah, like
bench.
Bongi had that dog in him.
Yeah,
so
but I
he
think
was top dog.
But I think also what Bongi offers now is the captaincy when he comes on, because usually when he comes on it's when Khaleesi goes off. Because Khaleesi doesn't usually play 80 minutes.
Yeah, he
like
doesn't, yeah.
even with the injury now, before that he also most games didn't play 80 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think Bongi offers that that captaincy as well when he comes on. So I think it's better now that he comes off the bench. He still makes an impact, man. He's big. He's good in this. He's going to be really good in the scrum when he comes on because he's a really big lad. And
Physicality.
yes, we're not going to say what Rassi says right now, but you know what Rassi says usually. But I mean, so good, man. Just Marks, chef's kiss, great game. Then Etzebeth. What do you think of Etzebeth's performance? I think he's getting back to his best.
Yeah, he's definitely getting back. Yeah, Etzebeth was good. He was really good.
I mean,
you felt that presence of him, and I think the Khaleesi try wouldn't have gotten over the two players if it wasn't for Etzebeth also putting a little bit of extra effort in. So Etzebeth just playing again like a supportive role, not really a role that he's played a lot, but he's had a big like improvement on how he's supporting other players and stuff like that.
Because he is getting up there in age. I don't think he can do what he did when he was younger. But I think that's
I think he's still good. I think
no.
he's
It's not.
still
I'm not saying he's like washed or. But I'm saying the best players, like the greatest players, learn to change their role once they get older. Once they don't have the crazy speed or they're not as physically dominant as he used to be. The best players learn how to change and learn how to support their team in different ways. And I think Etzebeth, man, he's like fine wine. I mean, this guy is
he's just getting better.
It's just so good, man. So I think we're giving him an 8 as well. I think
That's fair.
8 out of 10 performance for me. He was great.
Yeah, thank goodness I finally switched to the better marker. So
Then Sos. What I remember me and you had differing opinions on his
I don't know.
performance.
It felt like he once again did his donkey work and everything, but I don't know. I think he didn't have that much of an outstanding performance. I think he he had an average game. I think
He made one really good line-out steal.
yeah he did.
He did take his line-outs well, but I still think it should be Arges Neyman next to him.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Sos
definitely.
offers you that flank and lock from the bench.
But you already got like a PSDT for that, so
It's I don't want to disrespect Sos, but that the thing is which brings him down is that he plays in a second division Japanese side. Like second division, they didn't even get promoted this year, so he's going to play there next year again, which you could just see it didn't do him very good, man.
yeah, like all the other players from Japan that are now playing there, like Marks and Faf, Luet. Okay, yeah, but Luet also
PSDT
didn't.
as well.
Luet also didn't look good, but PSDT also looked good. So
Quagga.
like all the other guys, it seems like the Japanese league didn't really do that much bad for them. Like they really still are performing and maybe even better. So like Faf is definitely doing better.
Yeah, I think Faf. I think the league suits him though. I think the league really suits Faf because it's his sort of style of play.
Yeah.
Which I think that's like because Quagga, Faf, those guys, those fast-paced players, Vili as well. He played in the league. It doesn't affect them as much, but I was worried for players like Marks,
Like
PSDT
forwards
because
like,
of the physicality of the league. I mean, it can only be that physical. It's the Japanese league. There's small guys. Because when we saw like when Arges Neyman played there, like
the size distance was real, bro.
it was like
Size matters.
it was a real David against Goliath, where like he was just dominating them. But oh man, I mean, are we gonna give him like 6.5?
A 6.5 or a 7.
I think for that great line-out steal and also his work in the line, I think I'll give him a 7 at least,
Yeah.
man. I don't want to disrespect Sos.
Yeah, man does come from Brits, so the Burkies are gonna come find us or something. I don't know.
But yeah, I think give Sos a 7. I think obviously not a terrible performance, but pretty average. I expected a bit more.
Yeah,
Then Captain Fantastic Kulisi again, man.
yeah.
Again.
Just I heard someone say, I think it was the New Zealanders after the game. I think it was like Muliaina and that
Yeah,
panel.
I think the Sky Sports guys.
Yeah. And I heard them say like the closest player they can think of that has that does what Khaleesi does was like McCall. He has that McCall morale boost on him. Like he just burns the players up so much next to him. It's crazy how much he does for the team and for how he just pushes everyone up around him. It's madness.
Look, as someone who really doubted Khaleesi in 2021, because that was when obviously the box came back. He wasn't good. There's a freaking hair in my microphone. When he wasn't playing as well, I did doubt Khaleesi, but he's just proven me wrong over and over again. I mean, this guy. I saw this quote on Twitter where the guy said, when Khaleesi plays well, the box play well. And you can just see that he has that silent presence where everyone just respects him. He brings up the morale of the team. And he's really that type of guy where he leads by example. I think he's not a very talkative guy, but he definitely leads by example. And I mean, one try assist, got all his tackles, made those cleans, made the carries. I mean, just
The big
another.
carry as well. Like the lead up, I think it was one phase before he scored his try. I think it was Jordy Barrett and like 2 other New
Yeah.
Zealanders hit him, but they hit him on his
on,
bad
on his
knee.
on his bad knee.
And I really like my knee felt that. Like I was like worried.
I got a heart attack, man. I think my heart stopped for a second. I was
that
like, it's over
was
again.
crazy.
But I mean,
really thought it was bad.
he literally just stood up,
And
got
be
the
like,
ball again.
all right, I'm gonna score now. Like you
And
hit
then
me
even-
once, do it again, and they didn't do it again.
And then Etzebeth just got him over and they scored. So 8 out of 10 performance again for me.
Maybe even 8.5. I think he had a better week against the
you
All
think
Blacks
so?
than Wales. I think
Okay,
he played better.
8.5. That's fair. I think you can give him an 8.5. I don't have a problem with that. Then Mr. PSDT doing his PTSD things again. Look, that yellow card does bring you have
Yeah,
to
you
bring
need
a
to-
rating down.
You need to bring it like a point down for that, unfortunately.
if he had an 8.5, I think we give him a 7.5.
Yeah.
Just for the yellow card, which was also unfortunate. They both dipped.
Yeah, but it is still yellow. It's
It's
contact
it's
to the-
obviously I'm
yeah.
not saying it's not a yellow. It's still a yellow. But honestly, great performance by PSDT. He's getting back to that World Player of the Year form. Not entirely, but
He's getting back to it. He's
definitely getting back to it. I mean, he's just so good, man. So good. I don't think there's really much else to talk about that performance from him. I think just that was really good. And then Dwayne, wow. I mean, honestly, I think he's proving everyone wrong at this point. I thought he was done.
Like after that injury he got at the Bulls, also in 2021, I think.
Yeah, it was 2021. It was just
Yeah.
before he left the Bulls, he got that nasty knee injury,
Yeah.
and he also had
and-
surgery. And
He took his damn time coming back though. Like after last year, we just all thought, yeah, Jasper is clear. Like he isn't gonna catch up to Jasper anymore. He's gonna need to play the Skalk Brits role and just be there for the experience booster and to give the 20-year-olds a bit of shit or whatever. I'm not sure. Just like make the jokes after a hard training session and say like I'm gonna retire now, bye gents. Or
so, like, I'm old. You can't complain.
yeah. Like I thought it was there for the memes. But Dwayne did insane. Like it's crazy how physical he is. It's
And
crazy.
he's 37 years old, man. I mean, for a guy that
It's
age,
crazy.
and he also, I joked with you, I think on WhatsApp, where I said he got the 2019 haircut again. Like he's
He's back in the good days.
He's back. But I think he had a great performance. I think he's clear first choice now. Clear.
Yeah. Sorry, Jasper, but
It is what it is, man.
you're getting played out by Dwayne. So can you really feel bad? Probably
Yeah, it
not.
is. It is. Dwayne he is that good, and I think, someone screaming again. I just
It's
think
supposed to be test week. I don't know why people are freaking loud. Crazy.
And also I think he's playing his last rugby of his career, obviously, and I think he wants to go out on a bang. He wants to go off on a good note, and when a player plays like that, I know this isn't a rugby example. You probably wouldn't know this, but when Zidane played in 2006, that World Cup final was his last. He played so good at that World Cup, and because these type of players, they know even when they're older, it is their last games. You play with that passion, that energy. You want to go out on a bang, and I just think I'm getting goosebumps almost. Dwayne just played so good. I think 8 out of 10 performance.
Yeah, for sure. I can also get behind the 8 over there.
Look, he's never going to be the Dwayne World Cup final man of the match. I don't think he's ever going to put in that performance ever again. I don't think it's possible. But, I mean, you have to respect it. How good he still is for his age. How good he's performing. What he brings to the team. Obviously, he's a part of the leadership group. So, yeah, I'm just really impressed. And I'm really happy because I think we're all happy that Dwayne is performing.
Thank you, Daddy Dwayne. Thank you.
Just keep on doing it, man. Just keep on doing it.
You are Daddy for now. Always.
Then we go to Faf, which I know a lot of people give Faf a lot of shit.
I still don't get it, man. Like, we all know now, after chasing the sun and everything, that when Faf kicked, it was the game plan. Everyone hates Faf for it, but he was told to kick. Like, if Rassi told Faf, go do batshit things, pass the ball around, snipe 3 times every 5 phases, Faf would do it. He really will. But yeah, it's unfortunate that Faf gets so much cock. And I saw him get a lot of cock now again because he kicked one ball. Was it this game where he kicked the one ball also where it trickled out?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, where it was basically a perfect box kick, or not even a box kick, it was like tactical kick and what, basically perfect. And then if it went 2 meters back, it would have been a pinpoint accurate kick.
And also
But-
people griefing for those 2 knocks. Which, okay, that is a bit of a stupid mistake, knocking the ball in the scrum and also knocking the ball at the ruck, which you have to
Yeah, but
say
it
that
happens.
It happens. And I mean, I don't think you can pull a player down that much.
Yeah. And a lot of people said he was playing slow ball and he wasn't fast at the breakdowns, but he wasn't getting clean ball. The knocks and stuff that happened was because he wasn't getting clean ball. So if you're a 9 and you're not getting clean ball, then that's just absolutely
I mean, you can put
bad.
anyone there that it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been fast track ball.
Yeah.
But it's still, people forget, and I can say this to certain people 1 million times over, and they still won't listen to me. Faf is one of the best defensive players on our team. He fits the Rassi system perfectly. His defense is so good.
He made
But-
he made like 9 tackles.
Yeah, I think 9 tackles.
Yeah.
And people will just come, oh no, Faf is still shit. Shut up. Shut up. We don't care.
We do not
Faf
care.
is not shit. Okay, he's really good. I think taking those knocks into account, I'm gonna give him a 7.5.
Yeah.
But just stop
If it wasn't for like the one kick that he kicked out and the,
the
2
two
knocks,
knock-ons. It would have
then
been an 8.
it would have been an 8.5 even.
Yeah,
But
he was just so good. People just stop. Just don't disrespect him, man. He was really good.
like
He
wait
was
a
really,
little
really
bit before
good.
you disrespect him again. Just wait a little bit.
Without his defense, man, I mean, he pressures the defense, the other team so much. He's so good at that, and people forget that because if you
Goes
don't run with the
oopsie-whoopsie.
ball, you don't see what the player does. Apparently,
Typical Springbok
Yeah, the-
selection.
then Libok, wow. Let's just say almost perfect. He slipped one tackle.
Oh yeah.
He slipped. This guy, man, you should be studying.
I don't know what he's doing. Like he's not allowed to bash anything. It sounds like he's freaking hammering a nail into the wall, and he's not allowed to do that. So
H man, he should be studying. But Lobok, man, I mean, if he didn't slip that tackle, 9.5. I think I'm gonna give him a
basically,
9.
I'll also give him a 9. He was
yeah.
picture perfect.
And
Like
also, people will tell me, and some of my friends at campus were like, "No, but the kicks weren't under pressure." Well, I mean, it was as good as a practice as you were gonna get.
he made 3 kicks from the sideline though. So how much more pressure could you get from a Twickenham full of All Black supporters? Like
And kicking from the sideline.
yeah, like what more pressure could you want on a player to be tested on? So yeah, last week, Libok, you kicked cock. Straight up. We did not like last week's performance. But
We
this
did
week,
not. You were good. You were good, man. He's open play as well.
yeah, but
So
we all
good.
know that already. Like we all know
So good.
Libok is our best attacking fly off. We all know that already. But it's so good for his morale, I think, that he actually like had a perfect game against New Zealand, kicking game now. I think it's so good for his, I don't want to say his ego, but you know what I mean?
In some sense, his
Yeah.
ego, because
Because so that he can get like that, I don't want to say, it's not self-respect, what's the word?
confidence.
Confidence, yeah. So that you can just get that confidence, be like, worry, I did it against New Zealand. I kicked a perfect game against New
I
Zealand. I
kicked
can
3
do it.
kicks from the sideline against New Zealand.
Yeah, so you can get that confidence out of him and up a bit so that you can just do it in more games. Because, let's be honest, he is a bipolar kicker. He had 3 ass games and now he had a perfect game. So hopefully the next game is also going to be a perfect game. And then after that, maybe he's going to dip down again, hopefully not. But he just needs to find that consistency now and then he's going to be perfect.
mean, Lubbock, and people forget, which a lot of people are like, oh no, Pollard's going to come back in. They're going to drop shut up. Just please.
If Lubbock-
You sound stupid. If you genuinely think that Rassi will tell a player in the squad, listen, man, we selected you for the World Cup. but you're going home because in Pollard, who came back from injury, who might not even play 20 minutes in his first game, will probably not be very good. We're going to get him in, sorry, goodbye. Like, you sound stupid. You literally sound like an idiot. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. If no one gets injured, Pollard is not coming back.
It's
Because we
facts.
are backing Lubbock. The coaches back him. And I back him as well. Because he's really good. And also, I mean, people forget, man. We went through that pain of 2021 and 2022 where Pollard kicked like shit. He kicked like shit. And people forget that. You have a short memory.
He did have like that one stint in 2022 where he went like four games where he didn't
But
miss
before
a kick.
that,
Okay, yeah, before that, yeah.
it was 2021 especially.
But it's the same. It was the same before 2019. Like 2018, 2017, Pollard, he didn't kick good for the Bulls.
Oh, but that's what I mean. People were like, "Oh no, he's like this perfect kicker." He isn't, and I think people just, please, man, just stop. If I hear one person again telling me Rashi's gonna kick out, I don't know, Kobus Reinach for, I'm just gonna lose it. Like, just stop. If no one gets injured, no one gets called up.
Yeah.
And with Lubbock playing how he's playing, we can win the World Cup with Lubbock. He's really good. He adds a lot to our game. A lot of attacking flair that Pollard doesn't have. He adds to the game.
We're not even on copium now. This is like
This is facts.
This is straight up going to opium now. Like like after the weekend, we're not even on copium anymore. We're on hopium now. So the hope is real. It's gonna kill us.
It probably will, but you need to. Oh, the battery's low. I think the plug might be
Oh
off.
no.
There we go. Laptop is charging.
Technical difficulties.
But
sorry,
we are back.
we're gonna cut that out now. We're back.
I think
We're back.
We're back. I think we ranted long enough, or I ranted long enough. But just take away. Lubbock's good. Please don't tell me Pollard's coming back, because if no one gets injured, he's not coming back. Then, moving on to Mapimpi. Good game. Also, he impressed me. He got shit ball.
He had
And
no
with
ball,
the shit
basically.
ball he had, he did really good. I mean, if that offload landed to... Look, man, I would have given Mapimpi all the credit for that try if the offload landed, because if he maybe passed it a bit more up, I mean, it was difficult to catch. I don't think a lot of players catch that ball.
What are we talking about now?
That where Moody almost scored, where in the corner, Mapimpi got the ball. There were three guys on him. He stepped in. He hit a gap between the two, and he tried to offload to Moody, but it was like a...
I can't even remember.
I'll show you
that.
the clip afterwards, but
I remember
the
the
ball
clip
was like,
where I remember the clip where it was Curtly Arendse that offloaded it to Willemse. I remember
Yeah.
that.
I'll show you the clip afterwards. I'll
Okay.
show you after the podcast, but it was a terrible offload, but he was between two guys. He was getting tackled, so you can't grieve him too much for that. Yo, man, these guys, man. But I still think he played a really good game. I think I think a 7, straight 7. He got shit.
7.5 maybe even.
I mean, he didn't get a lot of ball, but I think
And they didn't really pressure him at all. That's
he
what I was.
got one
yeah.
kick.
And that's what I was saying. Like New Zealand, I don't understand why they tried a different kicking tactic against us. I don't know if they just wanted to test and say like, "Worry, okay,
Maybe they thought we're gonna counter them.
yeah, maybe we're gonna do something new or whatever." And the old kicking tactic that they used against us in the Rugby Championship, that wasn't gonna work. But
I mean-
they just totally scrapped it. They just kicked deep, and it wasn't even put under pressure, not at all.
I mean, they kept kicking on Willemse, which he's gonna catch the ball.
yeah. So
They kept kicking on him, which I don't understand. They didn't pressure Mapimpi or Kirtley for that matter, almost at all. Mapimpi, I think, dropped one high ball, which it was a really tough one, to be honest. I won't give him any grief for that. Kirtley also dropped a high ball, but I think Mapimpi had two. And then the one he caught, and the one which was in a really difficult situation he dropped. And then also, defense, solid.
perfect.
Then also with the ball he got, I think he did good. So, but I think I'm giving him a 7. He did drop the one eyeball. I don't think I can give him a 7.5 because he didn't do a lot.
Yeah, but it's not his
And it's
fault.
not his fault, obviously.
Yeah.
I think if Kirtley didn't score the intercept, I would have also just given him a 7.
Yeah.
Because as a winger,
You couldn't really do anything. Like that first 20 minutes, they were just playing ping pong rugby and
yeah,
being
exactly.
like, worry, okay, let's see what the forwards can cook. Let the forwards cook for 20 minutes and see what happens.
So yeah, I think giving Mapimpi a 7 is fair. I'm just so bad, man.
Last week you actually wrote neat, bro. Now you're dropping all my pens.
I mean, I did accidentally give Willie a 2 last week.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
Which
I
I mean,
remember now.
all those Willie haters would have loved. Then, Esterhuizen, my boy.
Let's just give him a 9. We don't even have to
Straight,
talk.
I think
like,
9.5.
No, I don't think he had the best game, but he definitely had a 9.
What a performance! I mean, I have a friend on campus who summed it up pretty good. Esterhuizen is what you want from an inside center. He is him. He is that guy. And also, for such a big lad who's known just for like crash ball, he has really underrated ball skills.
He has a big left boot.
Yeah, exactly as well.
He has a big left boot as well.
I mean,
so.
he did play flyer for a bit. So, I mean, just so good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that line break he made. I'm sorry. I have a lot of nostalgia and love for Damien de Allende. He's not making that line break anymore, is he? I mean, Esterhuizen just so good. I think if you don't start Esterhuizen now, it's a crime. It's I'm sorry. You have to start
It's not gonna be right.
Esterhuizen.
After that performance, like after Esterhuizen and Moody, the Star Boys performances, and you don't start them, it's gonna be criminal. Like honestly.
And also not starting him at 13, we just mean starting him on the wing.
Yeah. Just
we're not
keep
saying
him in the team.
please.
like,
We're not. Please don't come in the comments. Creel is our starting 13. We're just saying that. I mean, you can't drop Esterhuizen. He's undroppable now. I mean, you could make the argument like, oh, it was against Wales. Well, he did it against the All Blacks now, so I don't know what more you want him to do. He's starting for me. All the important games. I'm sorry, Dialendi, you can play against Tonga and Romania, but Esterhuizen starting. Then, before we move on to my star boy, his defensive work as well. I mean, he made 10 tackles.
yeah, Esterhuizen.
I checked on Rugby
I think he
Pass.
made like 2 or 3 dominant tackles.
Yeah,
Like,
he
had the
dislodged
most.
the ball 3 times, which so good, man. I don't see Dialendi doing that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
his defensive work, excellent.
Yeah, Esterhuizen is top dog now these days. He's
I think him and Moody made I think he made 9 tackles and Moody made 10 tackles. So good. Then my star boy. Look,
the love for Moody isn't even a joke. We couldn't even joke about this. It's just
I had my doubts. I think we all had our doubts. I said on the previous episode that I was worried. I was worried for Moody, but he proved me wrong.
but we did say if it clicks, it's gonna click good, and it did click.
I think he scored probably the best disallowed try I've ever seen. I mean,
a lot of people are saying that, but I can't really think about another try like that in recent times. I can't think of a try.
No.
So
I mean, you sent me on. I'm just gonna explain this first. So, how Rico Ioane picks up the ball, he kicks the ball out of his hands, picks it up, and then he steps Bowden Barrett and Richie Moanga. He had 2 guys to his left, but he was like, "No,
I'm gonna do
just
this
that
myself."
good. I'm just that good. I don't need to pass the ball." How? You sent me on WhatsApp. You were like, we were talking about the breakdown pod where he was like, "No, Moody's still mad." And you were like, "Listen, okay."
I think it was. I think it. They
He said like he saw like a young Brian O'Driscoll in Moody.
yeah, and I mean, I didn't watch Brian O'Driscoll playing because I was like, I don't even remember.
I think we were like 8 or 9 years
yeah,
old.
so we just basically watched the Springboks and the Bulls back then. We didn't really care about anything else. And yeah, it was like, I'm pretty sure my dad like only told me there was rugby on after the game. Like, let's say the Bulls won, then he would tell me like, oh, there's rugby on. And if they didn't win, I just wouldn't have known. I don't know. I just feel like my memories have been a bit clouded because of that. But yeah, I don't think Brian O'Driscoll at his first game on 13
Be that good.
I
Basically.
don't know. Like, it just feels to me like, because let's think about Rico Ioane now, because he is one of the best 13s in the world currently.
Probably the best 13 in the Southern Hemisphere at the
He's
moment.
basically the best because of being injured. Otherwise, it would have been easy. But now because of the injury, Rico is number one. So being that number one player in the Southern Hemisphere and really not doing anything, like
I mean, I remember this. It was so funny. You sent me on WhatsApp. You were like, "Listen, we're not saying he is Brian O'Driscoll, but imagine your first game on 13. You you cook Rico Ioane, the best 13 in the Southern Hemisphere, Bowen Barrett, and Richie Mo'unga. Your first game at 13.
and just saying he's kind of good. Like, we're not saying he is Brian O'Driscoll, but he is like him. Like,
He's really good, man. I mean, cooking those players on your first game, you're 20 years old.
it's crazy.
This
Like,
guy's future with the box, man. Honestly, just spare him with injuries, please.
yeah, please, no injuries.
Please, man. What are we gonna give him? 8.5.
I think
He made
8.5,
one.
yeah.
He slipped one tackle, which led
Yeah.
to the try. But to be fair, that scrum he did really well, but he still slipped
Yeah.
the tackle. So we have to bring that down. But further, he made no mistakes. 8.5 for my star boy.
He's
This
just that
guy,
good.
I think we're playing honestly like because he played so good. I think you can rest Creel 2 games. I think you can play him against Tonga and Romania at 13. But also I mean he's young, so these young guys don't get as tired as fast. He can play almost every game. I think. So good, man. Then Kirtley.
Yeah, same with Kirtley about my pimps. He didn't really have a lot of ball. If he didn't score the intercept try, he would have also probably gotten the
got a
7.
7. A very similar game to Mapimpi, I
Yeah.
think. Both of them very similar. 7.5.
7.5,
Yeah,
yeah. We'll
I
just
think
give him
7.5.
the 0.5 because of the intercept. Which was so stupid from Jordy Barrett. Like, who would throw such a batshit offload in your own 22? Like,
And I mean, also that was a massive overlap. If Kirtley didn't intercept that ball, they would
it would have been
ran
done. It would have been done.
through. They would have scored that typical like New Zealand line
Like,
of like.
Freaking
Post to
100-meter
post.
try.
So
It would have
was
killed me.
really good from Kirtley. It was really good. It definitely turned the momentum because New Zealand were getting a bit more and then just killed it. So same with Mapimpi and Kirtley. He just scored the try. He didn't. Pretty similar performances. Great game from Kirtley. Willemse, who was the official man of the match. I don't think he was my man of the match.
I was really shocked that it was Willemse and not Lebok. I thought Lebok.
I think I would have given it to Lubbock as well.
I really thought Lebok was clear for man of the match. I really thought it was Lebok that would have gotten man of the match. I was shocked to see it was Willemse because Willemse had a good game. Like, he did nothing wrong. He also had a perfect game, but he probably had like an 8.5 game.
I think an 8 because he slipped the tackle.
Yeah,
I think,
but I don't know. It feels like he didn't do anything wrong and he slipped the tackle because I don't think you expected that line break.
I think 8.5.
I think
is fair.
8.5 is fair for Willemse. I would have given him like a 9 if he didn't slip the tackle.
Yeah,
So-
but he was really good, man. Still, I think Willie is our starting 15. Imagine we had Willie. I think we would have scored like 2 or 3
No,
more
I
tries.
don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think we would have maybe done the same. I think the thing is that we forget is that Lebok is now doing the Willie role of generaling the attack. So the thing that we need to remember is if Pollard plays, Willie needs to play. But if Pollard doesn't play, then you don't really, or you get at least a 10 that can general an attack, like Lebok did. You don't really need a Willie. I don't think. I think Willie would have made like the same opportunities like Lebok did. I don't think he would have scored more. That's what I
But
think.
I think I just mean like having Willie and because we saw how they can cook together.
Yeah,
Lebok
that's
and
also
Willie.
true, but I don't think they would have gotten a lot more. Maybe Willie, like in that first 20 minutes when we only freaking did ding dong
Yeah.
rugby, not ding dong, that's kicking, ping pong. Like we only freaking
Pick and drive for 20
pick and drive
minutes.
the whole time. So maybe if we had Willie in the team, he would have been a bit louder with saying like, "Give the ball to me."
Come boys, pass for me.
Yeah, maybe Willie would have done something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know.
I think he still starts though because Willemse from the bench.
Yeah. It's just
He's
need
just
like
so good. You
you
need
n-
that utility back on the bench.
especially if we're gonna do a 7-1 split.
We'll talk about that now because we're getting to the bench. But I think Willemse a great game, 8.5. Did nothing wrong. Almost a
Yeah.
perfect performance.
Yeah, only missed the one tackle and then, yeah.
And then also the 7-1 split. Look, I've seen so many people on Twitter complaining. There's one, I think he played, I saw it was like a guy who played for Scotland and Leinster. It's like a really old guy. He was like, I'm so disappointed, like the Boks, they abusing the bench. Bring 7 forwards on, you need to make it mandatory to have 3 backs on the bench because they're killing rugby.
Like,
Shut up. Shut up. There's nothing in the rules that says that. Because it's always the Boks.
yeah.
If we do something,
If we innovate something in a way that makes it more a forward game, then we're killing the game or something.
yeah,
But-
it's always like that. And we are always mid and we are always in the wrong. Those two
Yeah,
things.
it's always, we're always cheating somehow.
Yeah.
But I mean, we picked Quagga, and Quagga is a 7th player. He's fast, so he can play wing. So it was basically fine to go with the 7-1 split, because if we had an injury, Quagga can play 9. He can play, I think he can play 9. Maybe he can't be a good 9, but he should be able
Yeah,
to.
I should be able to
Yeah.
at least fill in.
Yeah, so we could like do a switcheroonie and switch players up and what, and then just get Quagga on the wing, and then Kirtley can be 9 or something, I don't know. But it's not like we're cheating, I don't understand. And now so many teams are using a 6-2 split. Like,
When we
There's-
started it,
and we basically, we didn't use it the first. We weren't the first one to
but
use it.
we did popularize
But
it.
we did popularize it, yeah. But it was like, I couldn't believe, like, because I saw like people saying on Instagram and Twitter like they should totally kill substitutes and be like, there is no substitutes. You only get to make a substitution if there is an injury. So I don't understand it. Like,
You sound stupid when you say that.
yeah, it's like,
You
why
sound
would
salty.
you do that? Like,
you sound
okay,
salty.
sure, the Boks have freaking 2 insane packs where any one of the 2 packs can start. I'm sorry that you don't have it, but
It's
but
just.
we're gonna use it.
I mean, how can I say, man? Sucks to suck.
Sucks to sucko. Like, sorry.
But getting to the bench, Oxenchair, 8 out of 10.
Ox had an 8 out of 10. He was
Oxy,
insane.
I think he impresses me so much, man. One of
I really think, like, I really thought they would have started Ox above Kutzhoff this week. I really thought that.
but remember, we're on the last
mm.
podcast, Kutzhoff, I don't get tired.
It's true.
I
though.
never get tired. So
Mm.
I think, but if we need to start Ox,
I'm
still
all
so good,
for
man.
it.
I
all
won't
for
be bothered at all. He does offer something different.
Yeah.
He isn't a breakdown threat like Kutzhoff is,
Yeah.
but he does offer that big ball carrying.
Yeah,
which
he does carry
he
better than
doesn't look
Kutzhoff,
like
yeah.
a big. I mean, he's a pretty short lad.
Ox is massive.
But
Like,
he's-
I've been like, he isn't like, I'm 1.9 something,
Yeah, you're pretty
and
tall.
and Ox doesn't seem to be tall, but he's like 3 times wider than me, and it's not like fat.
I think he like benches 200 kgs easily. That guy.
I think he'd be like 250, man. It
that
feels
that
like
guy just
it just feels like he can freaking lift me up with his pinky or something
he
and
has
throw
that
me
pop and
across the
flace
room.
power. You know, he's
Just got that freaking dog braai vlees in him. Oh. There's just
he's
something.
just so good, man. He's so good.
Just a Nyama upsized. like, so, like,
Then Bongi 7 out of 10, 7.5.
yeah. He came also up on a weird time. Like,
They all came on the same
yeah.
time.
You know, that was scary to see. Like,
I
all
don't-
7 just coming on.
I remember on the TV, I was like, if you're New Zealand, you're shitting yourself.
Yeah, just like, it isn't the bomb squad, it's the nuclear bomb squad that's
Yeah, it's a
coming up.
nuke squad coming on.
I saw the memes on Twitter like, okay, the nuclear bomb squad is coming up, or the nuclear squad is coming up now.
Then Nyakane 7.5. He scrummed really well.
Yeah.
Nyakane isn't.
He isn't even a tight head, he's a loose head. But
He's not doing the work around the park he used to. He is 34 years old. He's
Yeah.
not as quick as he used to be, but coming from the bench, great player.
just grand game.
I love it when he always scrums the guy. Just like, I like
It's
that's just that signature Trevor Nyak. I just love that.
Love Trevor.
Always the blue tongue.
The man
as
from
well.
Tanin. Let's go.
Yeah, fellow Limpopo man. You've got to respect
Let's
that. Then John Klein and Anrich Snyman. I'm gonna group them together. Give them both an 8. Man,
What the line out steals? Just come up and be like, okay, we're gonna have some freaking line out charisma and just steal. I think they made like 4 steals.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 steals.
Yeah.
It was
I
so
think
good, man.
I think Erge made like 3 and Klein made 1.
I won. I mean,
It
it's
was
just so
crazy.
OP, man. Bringing Erge on off the bench, which I want him to start,
Yeah.
but also bringing off the bench. I mean, that guy in the lineouts, he was just so good. John Klein as well. What a player.
They just made perfect reads. It was just like freaking taking candy from a baby.
I mean,
like,
the Munster duo, man. You have to give it to them. They're
thank
so
you,
good.
Munster.
Thank you for sticking with Erge Snyman again. We couldn't thank you enough. What a player. What a player, man. Then there was number 19 and 20. Then
I could
21
quickly
was
check.
Marco van Staden. 22 was Kobus Reinach and 24 was Kwagga Smith.
Okay, but 19 and 20 was the 2
yeah.
locks.
8 out of 10. Then
Mhm.
Marco van Staden 7. I mean,
Yeah,
he didn't
have a lot
he
to
made
do.
2 big tackles. We
Yeah.
did. He made 2 really big tackles. He made like 2 good carries, but I can't give him higher than a 7. He did his thing,
Yeah,
but it's a
like
7.
average. If he was longer on the field, he could have done maybe something else, but we have
He
to give
didn't
him
have
like,
a lot to do, but still didn't do anything wrong. 7. Then Kobus Reinach, I think also a 7.
Also a 7. I think he was the shortest time up. I think
Yeah,
they
he was only
substituted
like
him.
10 minutes, I think.
No, I think it was 15.
Yeah, 50. Oh, yeah, they subbed my
Yeah.
Pimpy off.
Yeah.
And on the wing, didn't have a lot to do, but he did his thing. And also
Yeah.
that tackle,
He
He
bloody
could have
almost made a
been-
try-saving tackle.
that
though.
was almost a really good
That-
try-saving tackle.
That could have been maybe the try-saving tackle of the year if there was such a thing, but there wasn't. But yeah, that was speed for days.
And then Kwagga, for me, 8.5.
Kwagga is built different.
That guy is just so good, man. I mean, he just out of
And
nowhere.
you saying like a month ago, well, I'm gonna call him out now. Yeah, a month ago he said like, why are we still playing Kwagga? It should be Van Staden that's above Kwagga. Why is Kwagga on the bench and not Van Staden?
They both should be on the bench.
Okay, now they are because we have a 7-1 split.
No, I think we're not playing 2 locks usually. I think you
I
just
don't think.
I think you put Erge Snyman probably, and then
and then
Marco
Exabet
van
pulls a full game, and then you just have an extra lock like.
that's the thing. You can sub him on 4 and 5. But yeah, I think Kwagga, man, so good.
Kwagga had an
That
insane
try,
game.
the move.
The move,
It was
though.
one of the moves where
But it doesn't feel like a move. It doesn't, because I saw people saying like the box showed too much. We didn't really show a lot.
we
Like
didn't really show anything new.
we just played like ball in hand. Esterhazen made a break at 12. I don't know if by showing they mean like we
Showing
played
how good we are.
we like Esterhazen made a line break from a line out. I don't know if that's showing a lot. Like I don't know if that counts as showing something. And yeah, I mean the tries that we scored, I think we scored 2 from the mauls where it wasn't really mauls, like the one where Sia broke on blind side.
He made the try.
But that's not
assist
really
again.
innovating. I can't think that like that should be like basic thing is like there should be
If you
like
see the space.
yeah like there's the hooker that's always there. If they see
Yeah,
the maul is
exactly.
going forward, then the hooker goes in to join the maul. So then of course the 9's gonna be alone. So if the hooker doesn't join, you're just gonna give out the maul try anyways. So it doesn't feel like that's showing anything. And then Kwagga's try, it's just like they popped the ball down to Kwagga. He was gonna dummy and then he stepped someone. I can't remember who he stepped. I think it was a reserve. I think it was number 19
probably.
or 20 from the All Blacks. I
I
can't
think it was
remember.
Tupavai or someone. I can't remember
Yeah.
right now.
But he wanted to go for the pass. You could see it. And then he stepped inside, beated the one player and then got tackled by Ardy, I think. And then he dotted it down. So it wasn't really that we innovated anything. We just did it well.
We were just so dominant. We absolutely broke their forwards, I think, and that's what gave us that platform. But I see we've been going for an hour now.
Has it been an hour?
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
no.
been talking for an hour, which it didn't even feel like that.
Sorry.
But I think overall we can be really satisfied with this performance. Going into the World Cup, Scotland is looking really dangerous. Which
yeah, like that's also one thing I want to say. Like we
I'm scared of
can't,
Scotland,
we
man.
cannot forget about Scotland. Like honestly, they had low-key a shocking first 40 against Georgia. They were 6-0 down at halftime. So really shocking first half. Darcy Graham almost scored a try, or was it Carl Steyn? Was Carl Steyn in the
I
first
think
half?
Carl Steyn.
Yeah, we knocked the ball, unlucky. And just, it was, wow. Like, they just came back with a bang, and that's the thing that Scotland...
Insanity.
When Scotland just decides, okay, we're gonna attack now, like really attack now.
They do it.
They do
And
it.
they
So
can really destroy you. So, I mean,
so by all means, don't write off Scotland. Never write off an Islander team, and please don't write off New Zealand.
yeah, please. We're saying all this, but I said in the beginning, New Zealand are still New Zealand. I'll never write them off. I'll never underestimate them. So, I think that's it for today. I mean,
Yeah.
we did cover everything.
We also got
There's no game
reserves.
to preview.
Yeah.
There's not going to be an episode next week because I'm going to be in Tabazimbi. He's also going to be at home. So there's not going to be an episode this week. Next week I'll keep uploading clips from the previous one and this one. And then 2 weeks from now on Tuesday, we will be doing episode 4, which will be after the World Cup opening, which that will be a really good episode.
And hopefully
we beat
you know,
Scotland.
Now I'm already stressing, man. Yo.
I mean, I did. Come on, man. We got our mid-box jerseys. Also, shout out to my mom and dad. Thank you so much.
We
I
got
really
the mid-box
appreciate it.
jerseys. Valid.
We're going to represent. We're going to support the boys. And hopefully it goes well.
But now the stress starts. Now
Yeah.
Now it's
the real opium starts now. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was really good, this episode. Thank you guys for watching. And see you in the next one. Bye-bye.